One of my roles at Healing Grace Ministries is leading the worship, and worship is just near and dear to my heart. God has touched my life through worship and brought me a lot of healing. In a particular conference that we were at several years ago, God really revealed His love to me in a deep way, and it healed a lot of areas of my heart and soul that were wounded. And He showed me through that the importance of worship, which is really just an opportunity to come into His presence and pour our hearts out to Him and to receive from Him. And we see a lot of wonderful things happen during worship, even in our worship services. Recently there was a great testimony of a lady who received some healing during worship. We were just playing the music and singing and worshiping God, and all of a sudden there was a little commotion in the back of the room. And so Todd, while he was playing the guitar, he walked over to find out, gee, what's happening? What's going on here? And she said, my feet are healed. And she had her shoes and socks off. She hadn't been able to walk barefoot on floors or carpet for many years because it caused her a lot of pain. And she was just jumping up and down and so excited that God had healed her feet. And she went running right out of the room into the parking lot and was just telling people outside, God healed my feet. And so God just touches people during worship in many different ways. That's just one example, and one example of the different healings that we have seen.
Yes. And, understand 6 years ago, we didn't even really realize that God was healing people like this. But we had heard some testimonies. We'd heard some good things that the Lord was doing, and it stirred us because I had some major afflictions in my own body. I had eczema over 80% of my body. I had severe asthma. I was on the highest doses of Advair that I could be on, and it really wasn't helping a great deal. I mean, it helped me to breathe some, but I was getting sick for sometimes weeks at a time. I had pneumonia sometimes for 2 months at a time, and I was out of work. And it caused a lot of conflict in our home. It caused a lot of conflict in our lives. And the other thing was that the eczema was so bad that I was going to the doctors sometimes 3 times a week to get treatments, and I was sleeping about 2 hours a day. And I heard that God would heal these things, that He loved people, and He wanted to heal just like He did in the days of the New Testament where Jesus was walking on the earth and in the books of Acts. And we started to hear these things, and we were pretty excited. It was like, well, maybe this is what I need to do. And I went out to this one meeting, and as I was going forward, I was going to get some prayer for healing. The Lord spoke to my heart, and He says, I want you to seek me. And He showed me some areas of my life that stresses of not knowing Him as God were causing conflict. And I went forward. I received prayer to know how to seek Him. I didn't even know how to seek Him more, but it was kind of strange. I was like, Lord, I need healing. And He says, just seek me. I'll take care of those things. It was just that still small voice speaking to my heart. And I went forward. I received some prayer. The next morning, we got up, and I said, look at Don, these scabs are falling off my body. Within 3 days, I didn't have any more eczema. It was 6 weeks later that I realized that I didn't even have asthma anymore. Things that would trigger me weren't triggering me anymore, and I got off all the Advair, I got off all the medications, and I've never had asthma again. And 6 months later, I realized I was healed of even the issues with my allergies, and I had no more allergies. And I was like, Lord, what do I do with this? And He says, just give it away. So that's what we've been doing. We started to pray for some different ones, and we saw people getting healed immediately. On this video, we have a few testimonies of how God has healed some individuals here. I want to tell you that God is good, and He loves you. He really cares about you, and He wants to meet you in the issues of your life, whether it's in the issues of being healed emotionally or physically or in any other areas. If you need work, and the Lord wants to give those things to you. So we welcome you to Healing Grace Ministries. We welcome you to the rest of this video, and God bless you.